Hey everybody, cooking with the fat guy, Big Papa Harold. Tonight, chicken fingers my way. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, so the first things first. I've already put 2 cups of flour in here. Now that seems like a lot, but that's what I do. I like to get that established because you're going to end up using quite a bit of flour, and you can double dip these if you want. I normally just single dip anymore because I don't like a lot of breading on all of them. Some of them are good like that. Extra crispy is really good. So I'm not gonna lie, I'll show you how I double dip these, and I'll do some regular. But I've already got my oil going over here. You can put this on a stove if you want to. You can throw it in like 1.5 inches worth of oil, maybe 2 inches. But you want them to be covered, honestly. And I'm using chicken fingers, and I will show you what I'm doing there. So let's get back to this. I've got 1 cup of panko, and I'm actually going to dump this in. Some recipes tell you to keep this all separated and segregated and dip in the flour first and then in the panko. But that's really not how I like to do things. I would like to also put cayenne pepper in this. And I only put about a 1/4 of a teaspoon in this. Not very much. I'm just making sure that I got a little bit in there. I use a 1/2 teaspoon of my onion powder. And then I use a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. So I'm putting all this in there. And I don't do anything special with this. I just stir this up and get this nice and mixed. And again, this is just making sure that all of these ingredients are super mixed up. I've seen, like I said, I see a lot of recipes calling for dipping in the flour first and dipping the panko second. I really don't like the way that breads the chicken. I've just had luck with this, and I kind of mixed them one time on accident. And I was like, wow, this works way better. So hopefully I'll show you some more goodness in here once I get this done. 2 eggs, people. I use 2 eggs and a little bit of milk. I don't do anything special with that. And it's all a matter of how you like to do it. I don't use a lot of milk. I just pour a little bit in here. And I'll probably pour a little bit more. And I don't put a lot of salt and pepper in this at all. I really don't need to. The ingredients themselves really help make this what it is. And I don't do much else than this. I just get a healthy mix in there. You can use 2 or 3 eggs, and it's up to you. It's what you like on it. I usually end up having a little extra, so I usually only use 2 eggs. If I use 3, I just feel like it's too much. And this breads itself well enough. So I'm gonna bread the first one, and then I'm got my little helper, Carson's here. But I take this, stab that. I don't use my hands. If I can help it, I don't use my hands at all. And I just get this nice and mixed. So then, once I do that, I'm taking this, and I'm just taking it and putting it right into the flour. Now here is where I'll use my hands. I'll get this a little covered, and I'll just pour flour on top of it, and I'm going to mix it around a little bit in here, and I'll pick it up with the flour. Okay, so I don't mind getting a little dirty on this one, but I'm trying to get this very coated. I want this to look really, really good when I'm done. And the reason I tell you to use 2 cups is a lot of times the first layer, depending on if you're throwing your chicken right in, or even if you're not, the first layer of chicken I find that I put down here usually ends up getting the bottom of it soggy. So I end up double breading that most of the time. So that's what I want this to look like. As you can see, I've got panko crumbs and different stuff on there. And all I do is just layer these across. And I'll get my little one involved. Carson, the master chef, he washed his hands. He's gonna stab some of these. Say hi, buddy. He is one of my helpers. He likes to cook with me and likes to help me out. Go ahead and stab one and put it in the eggs, buddy. And guys and girls, everybody who's watching this, I involve my kids in a lot of this stuff. You don't see behind the scenes, but make sure to coat that whole thing. I use this as part of family time, right? I like to cook and it's fun, and my kids started cooking with me. They make cookies with me, they make all kinds of stuff with me. And this is one way that you can get your kids involved. I mean, a lot of times, hey, we all know that they'd like to sit in front of a video game, but they like doing this stuff. They like getting hands-on. At school, a lot of times, they are hands-on. I mean, you guys remember, we do science class. That's all right, buddy. That's all right. Stir that stuff up. They do science, they do math, they do all kinds of stuff. But in science, they got their hands-on, right? So these guys like to do this stuff, and they learn. They pick this stuff up like a sponge. They help me with my chicken recipes, and they've helped me with fried chicken numerous times. So he already knows the drill. He knows how to get this thing completely covered. So he does a good job at getting this stirred up for me and helping me out. So I've got quite a few of these done. I'm going to throw the extra breaded one on here first. I've got this oil already going. I'm going to drop these in, and I'm going to cook these for about 8 minutes. That usually gets about the right layer that I want on it. These will turn out really, really nice and actually semi-dark. They won't be overly dark, and you'll see that here when we get done. But I'll cook these for about 8 minutes. I usually cook about 5 or 6 at a time. You can cook a whole tray of these things, right? So if you've got a cooker like this, or you're cooking on your oven, as long as you can flip them over, you can put 6, 8, 10 in there. Again, I totally and completely stand by having a meat thermometer. I check these about the 7-minute mark or the 8-minute mark to make sure that they're at the right temperature, so that there's no problems with the meat, right? Because I'm feeding my family. So I want these to be as well done as possible. So we'll get you back here in a second once this is all done. Alright, well, if you don't know, I've got several kids. My friends like to call me a man of many children. But I've got Jax, this is my youngest. He helps me cook too. He is my worker bee. This kid is hardcore about working and awesome in the kitchen. He helps me out all the time. Anytime I'm cooking, he's in here making sure he's getting himself available to do this with me. And he is learning a lot. Now he's only, how old are you? 4?
No.
How old are you?
5.
He is 5 years old, people. 5 years old. And helping out in the kitchen, being a man. A man's man. Guy Fieri would love you, dude. Alright, people, here we go. So, I've got this chicken done. It is looking amazing. So let me take these out. I'm going to grab another fork. I don't want to dump this on. And I will bring these over so you can see them. These fry up really, really nice. Now there is the one that I double breaded. You can see it's a lot crispier than the others. Now they're not bad. There's obviously a little patch there that did not get it, but for the most part these are evenly coated all the way on both sides. You don't have a problem with that. Now this was stuck to that other one. But these coat up really, really nice. I'm really happy with this. I'm also making a buffalo sauce. Turn this down. But I'm making a buffalo wing sauce. And I just posted about this on Facebook. I'm keeping this on a low heat. I'll run through this with you real quick, because it's super easy to make. So this is 2/3 cup of hot pepper sauce. I'm using Frank's Red Hot sauce. Thank you, save a lot. A 1/2 cup of cold unsalted butter. 1½ tablespoons of white vinegar. 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'm just salting this to taste. Now, once you have all those ingredients, you just combine these all in your pot, right? You place this over medium heat and let this get to a simmer like it is right now. And I'm stirring it, and it actually calls to stir with a whisk. Man, this smells super good, guys. I'm gonna take the heat off this, move it over here, get it off, and I'm just gonna let this sit. And then I'm gonna pour some of this probably onto some of these chicken just to see what I can do with it. But you guys, I hope you like tonight's show. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Smack that like and subscribe button. Give me something, people. Give me something. Hey everybody, thanks for watching today. Be sure to smack that subscribe button so that you can catch up on future videos.